Hey, what's going on, guys? So we just got a new article today, and wow, so new information for the gunboat. I've really been waiting for this, and one of the cool things about having a new article is that it tends to mean that these guys are getting very, very close to being in our hands. There's still a couple of articles left to go, so we got a couple more weeks full of more articles for all of this wave. But one of the most interesting things that came out in this article is the fact that they said that Wave 12 and Wave 13 are confirmed to be coming out on the same day. So that's a pretty cool thing. Um, so it's almost like one big wave. This isn't anything particularly new. This is kind of one of those expectation management scenarios where I'm willing to bet originally they weren't sure if they were going to be able to get these out at the same time, so that's why they broke them up into separate waves. And as it turns out, happy happenstance that they could. This happened in Star Wars Armada back with Wave 3 and Wave 4. They were separate waves. I think it was originally designed to all work together, but they weren't sure if they were going to get them out in time, and they just needed to get something new out. So they're like, all right, well let's split them up and let's just push this half first. And it just so happened to work out that everything was able to arrive at the same time. So that much is cool. Let's take a look at what they are showing us in this wave. So um, first off, I'm so excited because this is the first ship for the Empire that doesn't start with tie. The first small ship, being a heavily ordnance-based ship, it's going to be also another way for you to use Deadeye after the nerf. So I'm curious if these guys are going to kind of take over the meta. But let's see what they showed us here. They showed us the whole dial. So the whole dial is got no red on it. But it also has no natural ability to turn around. Considering it has slam, I think that it gets by with that. It doesn't have the hard one, which would be great. I'm a big fan of the hard one, but it does have the one forward, which isn't too common amongst Imperial ships, or at least Imperial small ships. Although I think we kind of expected it because the bombers do have it. So and it's kind of in that slower, heavy ordnance type carrying machine, so in that type of role. So I think that makes sense. Let's go and see what else we've got. This is cool. Now there's two titles they showed us today. So we've got the XG1 Assault configuration. Alpha class Star Wing only title. It gives your upgrade bar two cannons, and it says you may perform attacks with cannon secondary weapons that cost two or fewer squad points, even when you have a weapons disabled token. So even though they have slam, there's a lot of stuff it looks like for this ship that completely gets rid of the entire negative part of slam, which you know you're going to be able to slam and then still shoot. Granted, you're not shooting like super heavy, but you're going to be able to slam and still shoot, and I think that's awesome because in this way you can put a tractor beam on there, a flechette cannon. Uh, some of the other new stuff they have on there. There's so you can move, get out of the way, and still be annoying. And the fact that you gain two means you can put like if you want, you can put like the big heavy laser cannon on there, and then a smaller one you know just in case. There's all kinds of different ways. This is like an a la carte ship because you can build it exactly however you want. Next up, we've got the OS1 Arsenal loadout. So this one gives you more of that dominant missile ordnance kind of role here. Your upgrade bar gains the torpedo and missile upgrade icons, which you already have those, but so it gives you now you're gonna have two of each. Because it says gains. You may perform attacks with torpedoes and missile secondary weapons against ships you have locked, even when you have a weapons disabled token. Now, the key in this thing is, and these are both cheap titles too. 1 and 2 points. That's not bad. The key with this one, again, it goes into the whole weapons disable token. You can still do it. Is that you have to have them locked. Now, that's not that big of a deal for the Empire. Between ships that can give out free actions, between ships that can give out free target locks, there's enough other ways to do that. If you wanted to slam and still do it, you can do that. Um, I think there's quite a few ways you can still make this work, and it's not going to be that hard, but it is going to require you doing something else if you wanted to make this work that way. Or just target lock early and maybe you don't spend it. Maybe you go with a missile that you don't necessarily need to lose your target lock. Um, you know, it's an idea. homing missiles. Maybe homing missiles will come back, and this way you don't need the extra support. You can be a standalone. You know, of course that's an expensive missile, so maybe not. But this might make that 5 points of it worthwhile. It's a possibility. Um, you know, I like it. I think this is gonna be a really fun ship to fly. Um, so yeah, so even if you have a weapons disabled token, now one of the things with this one is a lot of people are screaming dead eye, dead eye. You're not going to be able to totally exploit that here because you have to have them locked. So you granted maybe you can potentially spend your dead eye and then keep your lock for your missile or something like that, but I mean then what are you going to get, 3 actions in one turn? Probably not. So I feel like this is balanced. It feels cool. And I mean, it's a 2 point title too, and it's an optional title, so it's already in competition with a cheaper title already, or no title. So the fact that you're going to be paying for this title when so many titles tend to be free, or nowadays a lot of them come out with a negative point cost. Although I don't expect brand new ships to come out with negative point costs right off the bat, but pretty cool, pretty cool. So they did give us the ship, all of the ship cards, or it looks like all of them, or to give us the 4 ship cards. So we got Row Squadron Veteran. Row Squadron Veteran is our generic ace. So we've got the EPT at a PS4, which he seems like a good candidate for Deadeye because of the fact that he's so low pilot skill. He might not be able to get those target locks on, but he can also be a good cannon target as well, because of the fact that he's going to be moving before some of your aces, and he will have no problem with slamming, just to get in there and block. So this could be a really fun guy. And 21 points for a ship with an EPT is not bad. I'm digging it. Next is the new squadron. This is your generic, your cheap one. 18 points. All other things aside, here's one you might just want to fly as is. Potentially, maybe some upgrades, but 18 points, man, that's so cheap. That's crazy cheap. I mean, that's a TIE interceptor, you know, with the generic Avenger Squadron. But yes, so 18 points for you get 4 hull and 3 shields, and it's Alpha Squadron for the TIE Interceptor, not Avenger Squadron. But yeah, that's so you're getting 1 less attack and 1 less agility, but you get 4 more hit points, and and a lot of interesting actions. Reload you probably wouldn't be doing if you'd run him, all as he is, but Slam, you could argue this guy has way more maneuverability than a TIE Interceptor. But then again, if you don't take him with any titles or anything, you're not going to be able to shoot if you move. But 18 points is a great starting point for a ship that a lot of times you're going to want to really load up a lot of stuff on. So I'm liking that. Let's look at Major Vinder. When defending, if you have a weapons disabled token, roll an extra defense die. Obviously, it just fits into the whole theme, and he is a pilot skill 7 for 26. So you can potentially make him a 9. 9 is going to be good if you want to be getting those target locks and being able to shoot them on aces and before they can shoot back. That's kind of where you might need to be. And then we have our mid-level ace here is when you receive a weapons disabled. This is Lieutenant Karsabi. I love this art on this one too. But when you receive a weapons disabled token, if you are not stressed, you may receive a stress token to remove it. Again, fits into the whole thing. This is probably a good cannon guy, like maybe heavy laser cannon type guy. So you can boost, get into position, and just unload on these guys. You don't care about the weapons disabled token, and you don't even need. Well, you would need the 1 title. So this is a good double cannon guy, perhaps. Maybe you don't want to take that stress token. I don't know. You don't have a whole lot of greens on this guy, so stress could be a thing that you might want to avoid. The jury's still out for me on this guy. But I love that artwork too. The GR75 looks so great from the rear there, and this is kind of like exactly what he's doing. He's taking advantage of his maneuverability, circling back, and just unloading onto this. And he's definitely shooting, laser beams or maybe cannon fire. He's not shooting missiles because those are green beams. So digging it. Digging it. And he's got the EPT as well. All right. So here's a cool EPT that we're getting, and this one is opening up some cool possibilities. After you perform an attack with a torpedo or missile secondary weapon that does not hit, each ship at range 1 of the defender with an agility value lower than the squad point cost of the ordnance upgrade must roll 1 attack die and suffer any hit or crit rolled. So this is something I'm not crazy about. It's interesting, but I'm not crazy about this guaranteed damage. Like, you're either going to hit, so like assault missile, for example. I'm either going to hit with the assault missile, or I'm going to miss, and everybody's going to take damage anyway, or roll for damage, but potentially crits. So you could even do worse damage by missing. So that's rough. Um, but there's also that case where something that maybe you want to miss. Maybe you start running munitions failsafe again. So this way you miss, and you don't discard. I mean, now, granted, I don't really think I would run munitions failsafe on the gunboat because they already have the reload action, and so they can, I don't know, um, but I'm thinking, this doesn't have to go on the gunboat. This can go on anything. So this is a potential way, and this is cool because I thought munitions failsafe was kind of like a lost card, like it wasn't needed anymore. So maybe there's a way for you to do that, try and miss. But there's some cheap, there's some cheap ones. Like maybe you're just gonna run unguided rockets, and that one has a really good chance of missing anyway. So there's that. I don't know, and that's gonna hurt a lot of. Now, granted, your really high agility ships are probably gonna be fine here, um, but that's something else. Um, I think it'll be fun. I think this would be a fun one. I'm not super crazy about all the guaranteed damage because as somebody who would like to see TIE interceptors actually come back and be formidable again in competitive play, things like this are the exact opposite of kind of what you need. Yes, I know their agility value would be high, but somebody could just easily roll with 4-point missiles or torpedoes, and unless they've got stealth device on all your interceptors. But then again, you shoot the interceptor so that everybody else near him takes. I don't know. It seems like I don't know how to feel about this card. It's just weird. All right, linked battery. This one I'm very excited about. So this is a cannon. When attacking with a primary weapon or a cannon secondary weapon, you may re-roll an attack die. So this is great for the B-wing. I mean, obviously it works in this expansion because you can put 2 cannons on. So unless you re-roll, it's like Predator but a point cheaper. And the qualification is that you have to have the spare cannon slot. So that's cool. I'm digging that. But the thing that's great about this for me is the B-wing. You guys know I love the B-wing. Here is the problem with the B-wing is they already have 3 primary attacks. So a lot of times the B-wings don't need to take a cannon. It's fun to do it, but it's like I'd rather take a cannon on a ship that really needs the offensive help. And B-wings don't always need the offensive help. They're already a 3 attack die ship. And some of their best pilots already have ways to improve their attack without having to take a cannon, like Kian Farlander, who's like one of my favorite pilots in the game. He doesn't need the help, right? He doesn't need that extra. I mean, HLC works on him. It's just you plan an awful lot for a smaller upgrade. So linked battery is giving help to B-wings without having to use up their EPT, and it's only 2 points, so it's cheaper than Predator, and allows you to do something else with your EPT. I just think this is a great card, and I love it when a card is useful on the ship it comes with, but also has greater implications. So this one's going to be a lot of fun. And you can do other things with this one as well. Like there may be some uses for this with TIE defenders. There may be all kinds of different uses for this. So I'm looking forward to this one. Jamming beams. We get another new cannon here. And this one is a 3 dice attack at only range 1 to 2. And if it hits, assign the defender a jam token and then cancel all dice results. So it's not going to do damage, but it's only a 1 point, which is fine. Again, synergy with possibly with defenders. I don't think I would put this on a B-wing, but again, this also has natural synergy with the gunboat itself. If you're running the assault configuration, you're going to run two cannons. Well, here's a cheap cannon that you want maybe if you need to slam and just need something else out there. It's only costs 1 point, so you're not really taking too much of your squad list, and you're still giving yourself options. So seems all right. Doesn't seem broken, and you do have the range restriction of only 1 to 2, but with slam that shouldn't be too much of an issue. And then another thing we need to talk about. Now this isn't a new card, but it is kind of a new card. Advanced slam has been changed, so some people may have picked up on this, in that it now says you may perform a free action on your action bar. So no advanced slam into other actions that happen to be on upgrades. It has to be an action bar action. So there's that. That's been talked about quite a bit. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. It makes sense that this gets revealed with this ship, another ship that can slam. So yeah, some people are not happy about this. I'm okay with it. Like K-wings have kind of been running wild lately, and I'm okay with them getting a little bit of. I don't even know if it's a nerf. I think may have been the intention all along, but sometimes things like this just have to happen. But so slight nerf to advanced slam there, and that's I think that's everything that they showed us today. I am pretty excited for this. I gotta admit, I think this is going to be one of the most fun new ships to come out in a long time. I think being able to slam and still shoot changes this so much from the way that people have been slamming before just to get out of the way. I think it's going to be fantastic. So slamming and shooting, very fun. Don't have to slam. You got all kinds of new stuff. You got reload. You've got new cannons. The B-wings might be made great again. That's probably my favorite thing about this one. But I want to know what you guys think. So what is your favorite part of this expansion? What are you most looking forward to out of the new stuff? And how do you feel about Wave 12 and 13 coming out at the same day? Is that going to be too much? Like, are you going to I imagine some people their wallets are crying out in terror. I would say start putting a few bucks away each week between now and then, because it's going to be a pretty big purchase to come out, and and I imagine these are going to be out before Christmas. That's my guess. That's my guess. So I imagine that they will be out before the end of the year, before probably right to go alongside with the movie. So a lot of people are pointing to like the 15th or somewhere that week, maybe the 15th. That would be something. Could you imagine getting Wave 12 and 13 and then going to see Star Wars: The Last Jedi on the same day? Craziness. Craziness. That's like Star Wars overload, or translated to in other people's language, heaven. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about 12 and 13 coming out the same day. What are you most looking forward to with this ship or in this wave? Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.